வணக்கம் நேர்களே. ஜூலை மாதம் 5ஆம் தேதி சனிக்கிழமை, அதாவது நாளை மதியம் 2 மணிக்கு கீலன் ஷெப்பர்ட் சந்திப்புக்கு அருகாமையில் டவுன்ஸ்வியூ பார்க்கில் நடைபெறவிருக்கும் பொங்கு தமிழ் எழுச்சி நிகழ்வில் கலந்து கொள்ள வந்திருக்கும் டாக்டர் பிரையன் செனிவரட்னவுடன் ஆன இந்த நேரடி சந்திப்புக்கு உங்களையும் வரவேற்கின்றோம். வணக்கம் டாக்டர் பிரையன் செனிவரட்ன.
வணக்கம்.
இந்த நிகழ்ச்சி ஆங்கிலத்தில் நடைபெறும் என்பதை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றேன். உங்களுடைய கேள்விகளை நீங்கள் தமிழில் கேட்கலாம். நான் ஆங்கிலத்தில் மொழிபெயர்க்க தயாராக இருக்கின்றேன். Now, Brian, I was just telling the audience that we'll be talking in English, and I might do a little bit of translation wherever possible to facilitate the conversation. Now, let's begin. Well, you're obviously from Australia. You came all the way down from Australia to Canada.
Yes, I'm delighted to be here. I think I was here a couple of years ago, and this event, I've been honored by being a Sinhalese to be invited to a major Tamil event. And although it's a long way from Australia and I would just returned from South Africa, I thought I should make the effort to come here, and I think that it really has been worthwhile.
Obviously, the people here definitely know who Dr. Brian Seneviratne or who Dr. Brian Seneviratnam is. By now, you've been here with us in the studio in the past, and I have personally had a chance to talk with you for a television broadcast in Geneva as well, where you had again joined for a big rally in Geneva from all the European countries. Now, you seem to take a lot of personal interest in finding out or coming to attend a lot of these Tamil events, and you definitely are a person of Sinhalese origin. What is your connection to the cause?
Actually, Bishop Desmond Tutu, whom I saw just about a week ago, made a similar comment. He wasn't the first either. When after spending an hour with me here, there was someone else waiting to see him, he turned to this gentleman and said, he's a Sinhalese campaigning for the Tamil cause. Isn't that wonderful? I don't think really, although I appreciate very much the sentiments expressed, I don't think that this is a Sinhala issue or a Tamil issue. It's a human rights issue. And my disappointment is that more people are not coming forward in what is clearly of a humanitarian crisis facing the Tamil people in the north and the east, an economic crisis facing the country, and a slide of Sri Lanka to a presidential dictatorship. Not to mention the suffering of the Sinhala people, the economic suffering, as they are driven with their back to the wall. I saw a picture on front page of one of the newspapers showing a Sinhalese man picking up garbage from a garbage can at the back of the Peta market. I mean, that's the level to which poverty has gone, fighting a war that the Sinhala government cannot hope to win.
So you're saying more and more Sinhalese people are definitely being affected by this war, but that again is not being brought out to light.
No, nothing is being brought out to light except what the Rajapaksa brothers decide to publish. And media people, including people like you, are disappearing or being murdered or silenced or self-silenced. So what you're getting out really is highly censored news, and the fact that the inflation rate has hit 30% and people are going to starve, not only in Jaffna, which people are starving after the closure of the highway, and the United Nations has done nothing. It violates one of the Geneva Conventions that the occupying army cannot block the entrance to an area with 500,000 people. But basically, as I said, we are moving into a fascist dictatorship. I suppose your listeners do not know or may not know that the 4 Rajapaksa brothers control about 75% of the budget. I mean, this is unheard of. In my DVDs, I have said that there's some 85 or 88 ministers that Rajapaksa has appointed. And someone told me today that figure is very much more. It's about 130. It's only about 3 or 4 people in the party who do not have portfolios. I mean, this is just outrageous. It's scandalous, really.
But he's rather creative to come up with portfolios for all of these people.
Well, they're creating them. I think they've run out of names, and they certainly have run out of office space. And they're working from their homes, and some of them don't even know what the portfolio is all about.
Yeah, it's all about getting money. Now, again, the Tamil people here definitely appreciate you coming down to Canada. Now, what do you think your role is going to be in tomorrow's event?
Tomorrow, all I'm trying to do is to cover everything I possibly can and catch a flight and leave enough time to get to the airport. And that is a critical issue. But I'm covering the topic I even haven't thought of myself, but I think it's going to be an appeal for international help to sort out the mess in Sri Lanka, and particularly what is now appearing to be genocide of the Tamil people. I mean, I use that word with caution and after a great deal of thought, but the UN Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide says that it is an act with intent to wipe out a whole or in part an ethnic, a linguistic, religious or other group. And I think that is what is going on in Sri Lanka.
And there is a specific reason why I asked you what your agenda or what your role is going to be tomorrow. We won't talk too much about it. We'll keep that as a surprise for tomorrow. But talking around it, you've been a friend of the UN. You've worked with many international leaders. Where do you think is the international community at this point standing in terms of our problems?
You see, there are two wars going on there. The first is the Sinhala government versus the Tamil people to crush them to accepting Sri Lanka as a Sinhala Buddhist nation. Everybody knows that. The government says it's terrorism. There is a definition of terrorism which is not in keeping with what is going on.
Right.
So that's war number one. There's a different war going on at a different level between America, India and China for control of the Indian Ocean. Now, it is not widely known that the Indian Ocean is certainly not the largest ocean on this planet. It's the third largest ocean, but by far the busiest ocean on this planet. Some 40% of the oil production occurs in countries around the Indian Ocean. I think it transports about 60% of the oil goes through the Indian Ocean, and 70% of the container shipments go across the Indian Ocean. I think it was Admiral Maha, he was a US admiral, who said 100 years ago that whoever controls the Indian Ocean controls Asia. And that's and this is a funny war that's going on. It is cooperation and competition at the same time. A new word has been coined called co-option. Co-option or competition, not co-option, competition. That is competition and cooperation, all for the control of a foothold in Trincomalee. And where the Chinese are concerned,